Hello everybody and welcome back to a survivor's guide to this war of mine. We're still dealing with a outbreaker crime, which is not particularly good. However, we didn't get raided today, which is very, very good, and that means that hopefully these guys are doing pretty alright. Yeah, overall we're doing okay. We managed to grab a decent amount of materials last time, so I'm going to send Catcher to bed. But we are able to then, Pavel, I think we can finally do the thing that we were looking for to doing last time, but we didn't get around to it because we didn't have enough materials. We've got the guitar. So let's quickly place the guitar somewhere that actually lets us put it. I think I'm going to put it over here near the armchair. So I'm quickly going to go and build that and then I can show off how it works. But for now, last time we went through Alcohol Distillery, Drunkenness, some additional quests which were particularly interesting. Today we are going to be looking at some trading exploits in episode 10 of this series. And we also want to look at the possibility of upgrading a few of our workbenches here in order to show you what else they can do. But first and foremost, because we have been lucky enough to get the broken version that we now fixed up, we're going to look into the guitar and how that works. You'll also notice that our people, mostly, are no longer sad. Because we've dealt with the hangover and all of that sort of stuff, I think he's been able to push away from being sad, and it's kind of put us in the right direction. Once you've built the guitar, as you can see here, I'll focus on that for now, you notice they're all starting to also talk about it being chilly. But once you've built the guitar, you can then click on it as any character, and hopefully you can hear this is particularly bad playing. I'm not actually sure if anyone in this game, in this group, can actually play the guitar. I'll check with Catcher actually first, but as you can see nothing particularly is happening there, which is a shame. So I'm going to quickly send Pavel over here. It is the trader, so that is absolutely fine. We want to send Catcher over to do that anyway. So we're going to go do this. You can go and play the guitar. Can you play the guitar, Catcher? Turning up the volume a little bit. There we go, you can now hear the proper guitar. I hope that's actually increased the volume for you, or maybe I'll need to make sure I do this in my own way. But yeah, it means that she can actually play it, whereas the first person, Pavel, couldn't. Or maybe I could and I just didn't put it up high enough, but that's fine. So we're going to focus on that and we're going to bring Catcher now to go and trade. I've got a few things that we could maybe trade. I mainly want to trade for more materials in order to upgrade a few things. That's going to be the main thing. Okay, just don't walk away from the door when you... Okay, interesting. Okay, so we've got a good chunk of materials now that we could trade. I've got a lot of food, I've got a lot of this. So if I was to do this, I feel like I'm overdoing it for a bit there. Ooh. Actually, maybe not, considering I'm grabbing all of the parts as well. So I'll deal on that, yep, and then we'll focus on getting the wood as well. I need a little bit more in order to get the food wood. If I send that and maybe a little bit of this, yeah, good. That's a good amount. Focusing on anything else that you have that is useful for me. Probably that part is actually quite useful. And actually, I'm just trying to think. I think that getting rid of that. I've shown off alcohol now. I'm going to focus on this and take the water off you, which should be good. I believe that is strong. How much can I take? I could keep one behind, which is good. Deal. Then I kind of want to take that part off of you as well, which should be interesting. Can I do that for like that? And maybe that? Yeah, good. Deal. Perfect. So we've now got a decent chunk of things. I think our target is going to actually be to... I'll send you to bed. Actually, for now, yeah. And we're going to look at what we can upgrade, because we've got 3 things, I believe, we can upgrade. Yep, we've got the garden downstairs. We've got the workbench here. So if I quickly glance at this workbench... We need a good chunk more wooden components. We need some electronic parts. We need a mixer for that. If we go over here to the medical thing, we've got a few more components and parts. Again, a mixer and some of this. If I go downstairs into the basement to look at what the garden needs, I think it's just going to be more wood and everything. So that is going to be our method. Weirdly, we only need more components. There's not much actually wooden used in this one, which is fine, but we do need a heat lamp, which means we need a lot more electronic parts. There is one place in this game that you can get quite a good amount of electronic parts, and that's where we'll be going tonight to show you off the exploit that we're going for. If I look quickly at what else you've got to trade, I don't think there's anything kind of useful for us. I think we've got all of the kind of stuff we want. Although we do have a load of cigarettes, which is a good thing to have. So I am going to see if I can trade the cigarettes away for more food. Because we're going to need to eat tomorrow, even though I believe we should be okay in terms of the stuff we should be getting tonight as a method for a big exploit that I know. So if I was to give you all of that and you were to give me this, that is actually something that you do, which is nice. I could even take a load of this off, and then that is a good selection. So if you do manage to get some of the tobacco, you're able to kind of move in the right direction. Maybe I could also show you a trading exploit here. If I was to do this and to do this, I can get 9 tobacco for this, and 9 times 4 is 36. So I could get a load more cigarettes from that, but I'd also need to use the components. So I'm not going to do that. I actually just kind of want this, and I kind of want... What did I do? I wanted this. I wanted as much of that as I can get, which should be good. And I think that's everything that's useful for me. So I'm going to deal on that. I can send you away. You can go to bed, Catcher, and we can then go and do our exploit for the first time, which is a nice little trick to show off kind of how trading works at external locations. We'll end the day there, which is good. You've now rested and are ready up. I'll let these two again sleep, and I believe I can do this with Catcher. The best opportunity to do this is at the military outpost. It's a little bit dangerous, so if I was you, I would try somewhere else that's got a trading location first before trying it here, but it is worth doing this, as it does help you in a big way going forward. We're going to send off Catcher to do some very, very amazing things, and we'll see how it all goes. So the only thing I need for this one is I'm actually just going to take a lockpick, and you'll see why in a second. I'm going to scavenge. So let us load. Good. So here we are. We're able to come to the military outpost, which is just a location where we've got a lot of people who are where the army are. So I'm going to take some of these useful items for us, because we do need some components, and we do need some other parts. But we're mostly focusing on kind of exploits here. Not going to take the wood just yet. I'm going to quickly just look through all of this. I kind of like having a location here in this location. I won't take that because it's another thing. If I now go and talk to this person about trading, unfortunately there's nothing that they really care about, but they do have some really good items. Now the thing is with this is that obviously, as we need to have an opportunity to, we have to have all of our items with us in order to trade with them, so must they. So that means at every single location that you can trade at like this, there is the trading inventory somewhere on the map. Now, this is split between two, so I'm going to show you kind of the best way of dealing with all this right now. So I'm going to go and show you the sneaky way. So obviously as this person's gone, I use the opportunity to sneak upstairs. There is a person back there who he talks to, and hopefully, if everything goes right, we'll go back inside very, very soon. I'm now going to jump back down here. I'm going to sneak into here, because this gives us the opportunity to get to this locked cabinet, which is normally these cabinets are just behind the trader person. And this gives us the opportunity to go in here and look at what we've got available. And as you can see, we have a lot available that was in his inventory. That's good. So if I grab all of this stuff, which is nice, as you can see, we've got a whole load of good stuff here. Now, the one downside to this is that if you do take everything from this, I believe that there can be a glitch where they no longer trade properly. So it's worth being careful. There is also another one, but further back. Often, or sometimes at least, it is split into 2 sections. So I'm now quickly going to close this up. We're going to go and hide here, waiting for the person to go back. So often it's split into 2 sections. I'm actually going to show you the first method here. So I'm going to close this behind me, and I'm going to show you the method that I would use often here. So if I quickly close this, and we're going to go and say hello to this guy from this method. Okay, as you can see, once you're behind them, they get annoyed. But as I've come back this way, they are now very much fine. So I can now go back and trade, and I can have a look at what else I have available here. And if I was like, actually, while I did manage to get some electronic parts, there's some parts, weapon parts, I really need some of this. So I could actually go like this and say, oh, I want this. I want this. And so I could then be like, oh, okay, I'll give you all of this maybe. Or maybe I'll actually just give you the gun maybe for it. And some of this. It says it won't do try harder. Okay, if I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, deal like that. Okay, I've now got some of this to make sure I've got it, which is good. Deal, thank you very much. So now I can kind of wait and give it a second, because there's also the opportunity. The guy just came out this door again. As you remember, you can kind of see through this area, you can hear when the doors are moving and stuff like that. If I wanted to, though, I could also then go into these locations that I've left here, deposit what I've traded, because I've got a whole load of it now, and then I can go back and deal with it. There is also another section further back here, underneath these stairs in this location, and in other locations they can be in different areas, but that's where the rest of the tradables are kept. So this method is a good method for getting kind of what you need and moving on. Not always, though, do you have the opportunity to kind of go back and grab more stuff. Sometimes this person does not leave their post again. It's a bit random, but it's worth there. So overall, this is how you get a good selection of items. So I'm quickly going to actually just use this opportunity to grab what I can grab from the remaining bits here, which I believe is one of these and one wood. And I'll come back another night to show you how it kind of works. But overall, this is a useful method for stealing, for getting a good amount of stuff. And while sometimes this is counted as personal property, if you are going against places that are a bit more kind of questionable morality, then you can actually go and get them for free without a morale penalty, which is very, very good. So Catcher is now going to head back, which is very good. With all the stuff, which gives us a great opportunity to kind of look after ourselves. And I think that this time tomorrow I'm going to then spend some time upgrading my stuff by getting more materials in other places. So hopefully that should be a good movement in the right direction. You've got some medicine, we hope it helps. So now this is a bit of an interesting one. We were raided, and it looks as if we are in a situation where they actually did manage to get through and steal some things. These guys have got some deep wounds, but thankfully we've got this stuff, so they can hopefully look after themselves and kind of get better. So the target now is to get these guys feeling better. So this is, as we've been showing, you're able to kind of get people to take on medicine, bandages based on what their ailments are. We've been able to kind of look after that in a good way. Catcher's tired and he's hungry as well, so we're quickly going to eat some of this. We've actually just got a lot of cans, which is quite interesting. You're slightly sick, so I am going to take this. You'll notice that the slight sickness is coming in because the temperature has started to drop slightly. We are going to think about focusing on that, so we're going to look in that methodology, which is very, very good. You're tired as well. Actually, I think you should eat as well. Eat, then get wounded. Not eat and then get wounded, what am I saying? No, you should go over here. You need to then eat and then bandage yourself up, and then, yeah, this should all be fine. Pavel, you're only, you're hungry. You're not actually at too much else, which is good. That's good. We're actually not doing too badly. If I look here, we've got a lot of parts and a lot of other bits and pieces. We can actually see if we are able to upgrade anything. I think the main issue is going to be, actually, I'll head you down there to do this. I think the main issue is going to be electronic parts, which I'm going to focus on getting this coming time, hopefully. Which is good. We've got electronic parts there, and we've got a mixer. So this is a bit of a, that is the bit of a downside, and both of that also needs to be upgraded. If I head over here for this as well, there's a, what you'll see here is this kid, is this kid actually here? No, this kid isn't actually here. That's fine. I'm quickly going to just double check what that was. I believe I needed a bit more for this. Yeah, I did, and I think I need a bit more for the downstairs one as well. So you'll see that that kid came to the door and then ran off. I believe that's because of a glitch that along the side here, because of a variety of things. Maybe it's because I don't have something installed correctly. I need to look into that. But that was somebody who came to the door trying to look to stay with us. And that can happen quite often. It's the final thing that can kind of happen at the door. Actually, there's one final thing that we've not seen yet, but that's something that will be a bit of a further away target. But for now, that is kind of something that we are going to be looking at. I need to get some electronic parts more so than anything else. And so I'm going to show you actually a bit more trading. There's a location as well that's a pretty good trading location in the central square. And that's where we're going to go today. Because that is a good location to grab a few items that are maybe less easily found around and about. We're going to head there tonight to show it off. There's not much else that we really need to do today, so we're just going to end the day here and we're going to let them all look after themselves, which is good. Catcher just needs to be able to sleep, but we are sending Catcher out to scavenge. Did I make everyone eat? I did. That's good. We're going to go to the central square. It says possible trade, which is good, but we need to make sure that there's a marketplace in this location. There's a load of good stuff. So we're going to go here. We're going to go here with actually a load of food as a method of getting what we need from all the people there. So in targets of that, we're going to see what we have available, and we're going to go through the lines in every single location, which is very, very good. As you can see, there are a few locations quite early on in this, which I'm not going to actually take from, but just kind of give you an idea that even locations that are mainly focused on other things have got kind of places to steal from. Well, steal, maybe loot is the better word. So if I quickly move on bit by bit, we can see that these guys are all different traders. So you need some materials, maybe we can talk to this guy. So this guy has got a good variety of things, but look, as you can see, doesn't really have too much of anything useful. So if I was to give you, say, 1, 2, 3, 4 of that and ask for a load of this, see, look here. I literally just need 1 to get a lot of stuff here. It won't do try harder, I should be focusing on. There we go. So I could deal on that, deal, and then look at my backpack. Gives me a whole load of stuff, which is good. And this is a good way of getting a lot of materials later on in the game. So if I do this again and do that, I could do it again, maybe. And I could click deal. There we go. And we can see now... Oh, actually, no, sorry, not interested. We can see now my backpack, we're getting a load more stuff. So I could even go in again. Now, I want to show this off, because if I was to then go in this and say, oh, I want all of this wood, I can get all of this. I can't carry that much. This is the thing to focus on when you are kind of going out and about and stuff like this. So, in a way, this is a bit of an interesting conundrum to then think about, oh, what do I want to do? I could maybe go for a lot of this, if that's a thing. You can see... I could maybe grab 4 of this and maybe 2 of this. Or maybe more of the components. If I was to do this and deal, we can then see in my backpack we're pretty much full. If I was to try it again, maybe I could then grab the remaining of this and maybe 4 of this. Yeah, if I grab all of that, then we can look at my backpack and see I've got a good amount of materials collected. What I could then do is I can also go over here to one of these locations at the start, as a sensible person, and I could deposit all of the stuff that I've collected here and then do more trading. And then at the end I have all the stuff at the start which I can then quickly go and grab whenever I need it. However, I'm not going to do that today because it's a useful kind of thing. I'm going to have a quick look at what else is available just to run you through. If I keep moving, I believe you've got booze here. Hello? This is a good. If I was to talk here, we can see that we've got a whole load of good booze and also the addiction things. So this is something that could be very good to know. If we keep moving, which is very, very good. I may come back here tomorrow and just grab a whole load more materials for the other things as well. So we've got some medical supplies here, which is good. They also have alcohol, but you've also got the few other materials. And then over here, I believe we have food, which is good. We can able to pick up some of these raw things and some water and sugar. And then if we keep moving on, that is the final one. And there is also other areas in this location, but it is locked, so I can't really get there. Unfortunately, the electronic parts, which is kind of what we needed most of all, wasn't here. So we're going to try to find some of those in a bit. That is our next target, as it were. This is unfortunately one of the things that gets devolved down into quite a bit. But we are going to try our hardest to get over this hurdle. So we're going to head back, but that is the end of today's episode, where we went over Qatar, we went over some trade exploits at the military outpost and how it would work at other locations as well. And we also went for trading here and how this central square is set up for trading. I will see you next time. Ta-ra.